I'm David Stubbs, and I did television and film for Pop Culture Virginia State University.
I'm Big Al Harrison. I did music and fashion for Virginia State University.
I'm Jody Serville. I covered the educational community here at Virginia State University.
My name is Charles Sandler. I covered tonight's season athletics at Virginia State University.
What I took out of this, you really gotta, you can't just put something together and rush it, because that's what I feel like we did for the first two videos. But the last one, we really took our time with it and sure.
Definitely. It's all about getting an understanding of exactly where you're going with your video, because at first it's very vague, but then you have to narrow it down into something that really makes sense and not just put something together and throw it out there,
Yeah, so I guess the main lesson is communication and time management.
For us, for this last video, we interviewed more students and asked them what they thought the music trends were, what influences your style, stuff like that. And we also went to Karojo, Urban Couture. I know that this contemporary now, but we was just really just going around asking like what influenced their style, what's popular, what trends are you seeing that's popular on campus, and things of that nature. Basically just reflecting on what we learned as well.
When I think of music on Virginia State's campus, I think of WVST, the radio station here at campus.
Well, WVST has been around almost 30 years as of 2017, and for all its existence, it is focused on jazz. Many HBCU radio stations have either always been that way or have switched their focus to jazz, and it's mostly because of the nature of hip-hop music today and what a lot of colleges and universities feel it represents to the community, as far as, if that's what their school represents. Here at VSU, we never even took that into account because we were always jazz. But being jazz wasn't a decision made lightly. It was made because if you're going to teach students how to have a radio station, the number one thing you don't want to teach them is do what you feel. You want to do what is needed, what you feel will do well in your market. And in this market in Central Virginia, there's never been a full-service jazz station. What we do is we take the jazz and we blend it with other genres. So we have a very unique blend of jazz and R&B that's actually quite palatable for all. Our audience ranges in age from the student population to it doesn't end. One assumption that's always made is the students don't listen because it's jazz, and we found that not to be true. When people win contests, we get a chance to see who listens to our station, and we get a chance to hear who listens to our station.
When I think of music on Virginia State's campus, I think of KK Psy.
My name is Eric Hutcherson. I'm a senior mathematics major with a minor in secondary education. I am the current president of the Zeta Psi chapter of Kappa Kappa Psi, National Honorary Band Fraternity Incorporated. I am also a Spring 16 initiate of the Sigma Zeta chapter of Phi Mu Alpha Symphony Fraternity of America Incorporated.
Being a member of two music-based fraternities, how has music enhanced your college experience?
Networking, of course. In January, we have the Honda Battle of the Bands, and that's a great opportunity for both organizations to go to Atlanta, Georgia, at the Georgia Dome, and network with other brothers and even sisters of our sister organizations.
Dealing with pop culture, should the university put more of an emphasis on the arts?
Absolutely. Music is the greatest of the arts, and it's, for some people, it's an escape, you know. Sometimes you gotta get away from like schoolwork, and all that type of monotony stuff, and having some type of artistic ability and being able to express yourself artistically is it have a lot of emphasis and a lot of money put toward it as well.
When I think of fashion, I think of urban modeling, such as urban couture.
1.
Good afternoon, my name is Robert Walker. I am a senior here at Virginia State University, and my major is IDST with a minor in community-based education, and I am the UC president.
What does urban couture do?
Urban couture basically is an urban modeling team that doesn't also just strictly do modeling. We do things fashion-wise, and we do a lot of community service.
How does pop culture determine what music you guys use to dance?
I would say that the pop culture music determines what we dance to is basically what's popular here and what's basically trendy. So whatever song that you can basically dance to is something that we would honestly use to, since a lot of our UC technique is basically precision and everything that we do is basically precise. So we try to match the moves to the music.
And how does pop culture influence what y'all models wear during runway?
Usually doing whatever show that we basically have, we usually have a theme. And the last thing that we basically had was The Wiz.
Hi, my name is Carlos Fiasco. I'm 26 years old. I am a fashion model. I also produce fashion shows for New York Fashion Week twice a year. And yeah, I'm here.
What do pop culture mean to you?
What pop culture means to me is it's a lifestyle. It's what you eat. It's your style. It's what you wear. It's what the music that you listen to in the morning. It's how you make your way to class. It's a lifestyle.
Thank you.
We didn't have the trends of wearing your pants lower, and I've seen how that trend has kind of started to move. I mean, pants used to be really baggy and low. Now they're not as baggy and they're skinny and not as low, but still I think that's a trend I think that's been around longer than any trend I've ever seen. By the way, kind of sagging the pants. But in our day, it was baseball caps. People really got into wearing caps, and it was the beginning of, if you can remember, there was a time when you're not. Well, it still does exist, but it was even bigger where you're not supposed to wear hats indoors for guys.
Right.
And that was our kind of pants sagging moment. So everybody was wearing a baseball cap, and everybody was wearing a baseball cap everywhere. And you wouldn't be able to find a college picture of me without a cap. I can go into music. This is 86 when I started school. So hip hop was on, but I was from Chicago. It was more of a New York thing. And so it was really starting to branch out from New York, and you started getting Eric B. and Rakim, KRS-One, Salt and Pepper, hitting audiences that just weren't New York. And so when I get to DC and you see that, that was live. I thought Eric B. and Rakim was, still right now, Rakim is just the man to me. So,
right.
So that was huge. The vibe was fantastic. That's why I love IHBC News. The vibe was incredible.
What do you need? Top three favorite artists?
Yes, your top 3 favorite artists.
Meek, J. Cole, and Jay-Z.
Jhené Aiko, Jacquees, and Tink. Rihanna, Jhené Aiko, and J. Cole. Because I just love their music, how the way they dress, like they're just so inspiring.
Tupac, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar.
Kanye, gotta say Pharrell, and people sleep on him a lot, but he definitely changed the culture when he did, and that's A$AP Rocky.
Jill Scott, Jasmine Sullivan, and Common.
What top 3 artists do you always hear on campus?
Shy Glizzy. And that's it.
Shy Glizzy.
I hear Young Ma, 21 Savage, and Kodak Black.
Famous Dex.
Okay.
film, what we did, we focused on who the target audience is most of the time and how that trickles down into what we watch and what we intake as far as entertainment. And we went about and asked people from students to people who are actually in the industry and asked them what they feel on the topic, and we got a bunch of mixed results, but we definitely learned a lot. The focus for our video is more of a reflection of what we've learned throughout the process, as well as a continuation from our last video on if people think that target audience is racial or demographic. We asked the higher ups instead of students this time, and we also got insight from a person who recently worked with HBO who graduated from here. So we got a lot of insight on that, and we also just asked them how they feel Virginia State pop culture is shaped, and if it's a good thing or bad thing to carry on when we graduate.
How you doing today, Mr. Carrington?
Very fine, Fred. How you doing?
Great. Thank you for asking. Today we just had some questions on, demographics of television. Being that you're a professional in the television world, and we discussed that previously. I just wanted to know, do you think certain movies target audiences demographically or racially?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. From the time movies started, they've always had their own demographic. They always had their own audience. If you look back in the 60s and the 70s, you had the black exploitation films. When you look even before that, most audiences, most movies before that time were targeted basically towards white people. And that's the demographic that they wanted because that's where they thought all the money was. And when you look at even race films that happened in the 40s and the 50s, those are definitely targeted to black people, and it played along the Chitlin Circuit up and down the East Coast.
Right. Oh wow, yeah. How do you think Virginia State University's pop culture is shaped?
Well, part of that pop culture has been, I would say, exploited due to social media. And the whole social media part is part of the whole thing of convergence, where social media has cut its way through movies, through television, through all of those areas, including print. So when you look at pop culture, you look at what is being shown on social media, what is being shown on TV, and then move to social media. The whole idea of music videos, which started back in the 80s, showed a different side of American culture, which really affects you guys. I mean, hip hop is 35 years old, and you guys are still listening to that stuff, and because of social media, you guys are getting it faster. You're getting it through independent sources. So you don't have to go to the record companies anymore. You don't have to go to ABC, CBS. You can do it on demand. You can pull it up anytime you want to on a whole bunch of different devices, and you're getting a lot more information as university students, and it's going to stay with you guys for a long time.
Is the pop culture of Virginia State University a good thing for graduates to retain post-graduation, or is it a temporary or a permanent attribute to obtain?
When you're in college, here are 4 years where you can express yourself, be whoever you want to be. You can get in trouble if you want to, don't have to worry about going to jail. That is only the beginning. And then when you get out of college, you build on that. You guys are going to start going to plays, doing Broadway. You're going to start going to the symphony. You're going to start doing things that are, quote unquote, a little bit more mature. And you might lose a little bit of your pop culture. I say lose it, but not forget it. Because you're always going to remember the music that you heard, the plays that you see in college, the social media that you witness. You're going to remember that stuff. When you know that somebody sings a song or you see some video that doesn't fit your core, and your stomach start turning, instead of just accepting it, you're gonna question it. And that's a very, very important thing to do, because everything that's put out there for you ain't good for you.
What are some of your favorite television shows, and what are some of the key messages that were pointed out?
Key messages. It was God and country. Wanted to serve in the military. You want to get married, have a family, have a great job. You be proud of yourself of who you are, especially when it comes through the 60s all the way through to now. Because when I look at pop culture, it was an awareness situation where, you know, we had the Vietnam War going on, we had the civil rights movement going on, we had feminism going on. The things that we dealt with, the things that were ingrained in us throughout pop culture was more family oriented. We were more, I think we were more formal because we knew that when we finished college, we had to go out into a world that was hostile to us, you know.
Well, I do thank you for your time once again, for sharing those things, your thoughts on pop culture and the demographics of television with our pop culture class. Thank you for your time once again, Mr. Carrington.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Brianna Williams and I'm here interviewing
David Stubb.
And yeah, let's get this started. How do you think the pop culture of Virginia State is shaped?
I think it's shaped through a lot of different people coming from a lot of different areas. I feel as if it's just where you grew up and where you carry that with you, and then also what you see on like mass media and things of that nature. So it comes from where you grew up and also what you're into, and then that just a melting pot of what we get now.
And when you graduate, do you plan to take some of this pop culture with you?
I definitely believe Virginia State pop culture has shaped me for the better, and it's made me a more agile and adaptive person. I don't really believe in going back on anything. I always move forward.
And based on pop culture and TV and film, do you think that the target audience is more so racial or demographic?
I feel for major releases, it's more of a demographic thing. It's more like anyone can see it, but then there's certain movies that are definitely more racial. So like Transformers is for just anyone who's into stuff like that, but Boys in the Hood is clearly not for the average white suburban.
What are some key messages in the TV shows that you watch?
So the stuff that I watch is like satirical comedy, like Family Guy or South Park, but in most of the stuff that you see nowadays, it's kind of the same thing over and over. It's just people trying to be successful or get back their success that they once lost. And as opposed to the old days, it was just about having a stable family and getting married and just being good at what you did. Nowadays, it's about kind of almost conquering the world in whatever aspect and however you can.
What have you learned overall?
So one thing I've learned overall is that it's important to communicate clearly and convey your message as to what you want done and what needs to be done to make the product run as smooth as possible and get everything done in a timely manner. And I've always been a big fan of playing your part. So anytime that I have a chance to be a team player as well as a leader, I'm more than willing to do so.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jalila Harris. I'm a mass communications major with focus on print, and I am a part of the TV and film group of pop culture class. And we have a couple of questions for.
Hi, my name is Fred Wynn. I'm a senior, graduating senior mass communications major with a focus in radio and broadcasting. Also a member of the Mass Communications Club.
Okay. How do you think popular culture at Virginia State is shaped?
I think that pop culture has had an effect, does have an effect on not only Virginia State, all universities, but Virginia State specifically, in a way that, it comes through our dress, the way we dress, our attire, music, television, everything that's in front of us that we're watching. The media is a real powerful tool, and they use that, to, I wouldn't say manipulate, but it's really out there that, what we watch all the time, that's really what we're exposed to. So I feel like that is a big part of the pop culture here at the university, what we gravitate towards.
Is it helpful for individuals to keep that pop culture once they graduate?
I think that it's always good to take something that you learn with you, because I feel like pop culture is a part of your learning curve as well, because it's always evolving. So once I think post-graduation it's great to take that with you. It's a part of you, so you'll keep learning new things, something that you have already learned before, and I think that's a good thing to keep with you.
Do you think the target audiences for pop culture is racial or demographic?
I think it's more target audiences go for, I'm gonna say racially, only because the things that are put out are, they're for certain categories. The different types of characters, the different types of backgrounds that a character may have and things of that nature, they all put that there for a reason.
What is the key message that you find in TV and film?
Well, key messages in shows, this is a big one. I feel like the key messages in most of the shows that are out now, some of them have a negative effect, some of them have a positive effect. I feel like it's always based on the audience and who the outreach is and who it's, who it's focused on. I feel like the key message in a lot of shows that's out now doesn't really display a good, I would say, attributes of, African Americans sometimes, because they have, it's about how they're displayed. Sometimes, you got arguing and stuff like that on reality television and, relationships and just scandals and stuff like that. It just makes it, it's not a good outlook, I feel like, on a certain particular groups. Key messages is important because, that's really what the entire program is based around.
What have you learned throughout your whole experience with TV and film?
I really learned a lot about, who you work with, and as far as your close peers, and you learn a lot about how someone else would work, how they work, and I learned a lot about, how diverse my campus is as well, as far as where a lot of people are from, and what they're interested in, their viewpoints and their opinions on certain things.
So as far as educational community, what we tried to do was incorporate everyone that makes up our community here at Virginia State and get their opinions on different topics and what pop culture is to them, and reaching out to our president, reaching out to students, reaching out to staff to see how they feel about the past election, as well as reaching out to international students who are now here at Virginia State in the exchange program, and just seeing their views on pop culture at Virginia State and how it was back at their school and how they feel about everything just going on in our community.
My name's Art Frederick. I'm the Director of Distance Education for the University. Pro-Trumpers, or assuming pro-Trumpers that have been out there on college campuses and other communities putting up racist and sexist and ethnic derogatory comments, and it's all getting lost because of the protests that are going on a much larger scale.
Sure, my name is Casey Perry. I'm the Student Organizational and Leadership Development Coordinator for Student Affairs, and I'm also the advisor for the Student Government Association here at Virginia State University.
Okay. So how do you feel the recent presidential election will affect us as a HBCU, being that it is a HBCU?
I feel like the current election will affect Virginia State University in the manner of being that we are public state institution of higher learning. My experience with Republicans and politics, the Republican Party does not so much support and care for the funding of state institutions.
Hi, I'm Maya Lighty. I'm a senior community-based education major, and I'm a member of the NAACP. Hey y'all, my name is Nicole Britton. I'm a member of the NAACP, and I am a computer science major. Do you think pop culture influenced your reasons on joining the NAACP?
Yeah, I feel like this year and last year, a lot of stuff been recently happening that's been in media, and it's becoming bigger and more noticeable, like such as police brutality. Like, that's something that's been main in the media nowadays, so it makes me want to be aware of what's going on in my community and wanting to help out and, I guess, putting forth effort in fixing what's going on, or at least try to help fixing what's going on in the community.
With Donald Trump being elected president, do you think that's going to have a negative or positive effect on Virginia State University and other African American communities?
Well, I think it might have a negative effect because he was saying something about taking away financial aid, and most students come to school based off of financial aid.
I agree. Like, I think it'll have like a negative effect, just because like all like the people like that surround campus and stuff like that. Like, you see all like the videos and stuff, like the people acting like crazy and like
attacking each other.
Yeah.
You think that they're gonna attack us because we black?
Yes.
Here I have. My name is Stefan. I'm a senior accounting major at Virginia State University.
All right, Stefan, let me ask you a couple of questions. First off, where are you from? And give me a background about it.
I'm actually from Guyana. It's basically in South America. It's part of the West Indies.
Okay.
So we're really like the only English-speaking country in South America.
Interesting. All right. So another question is, how does pop culture differ from your country to Virginia State University?
It's very different. You know what I'm saying, because of cultures. Like in my culture, we have different ethnic backgrounds. So you have the East Indians, the Africans, the European, Portuguese. Everybody brings their own aspect towards the country.
Okay. And last question, is the learning style different, or is it the same as is from Virginia State?
It is very different. Because, I mean, yes, we have professors that hands-on with you, but then the material is different. In the aspect of mathematics. See, in mathematics in the United States, it's broken down into like algebra, algebra, calculus, and stuff like that. But in my culture, everything is one.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Aaliyah Israel. I'm a NASCAR major. I'm a senior. I'm also Miss NASCAR, and I'm from Los Angeles, California.
So, Aaliyah, what brought you to Virginia State University?
I always want to go to HBCU, and we don't have HBCU in California.
Okay, but what program? Like,
I'm part of the National Student Exchange Program. So basically, I get to go to a different school from a different state and still pay my own school tuition fees in the state to experience a different culture and everything.
So are there like differences in California pop culture and Virginia State University pop culture?
Yes, there's definitely a lot of differences. I go home like to California for a spring break or something, and I can see there's like a lot of changes, like from music to fashion. It's really different.
What is pop culture to you, and how does it affect the educational community at Virginia State University?
For me, being in an HBCU, working so long in HBCU, spending so much time in and around the black community, for me, I think of that as, I think of y'all as pop culture. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's what I think. And so I don't think we can, pop culture, young people culture, young black people culture, we can't move without it. It is intertwined and interthreaded in everything at HBCU. And it's only not, you can tell if something does not include that, it means that we don't have enough student input in it. It's just that simple. Because if you've got the students involved, or if you're thinking about the students while you're doing it, it's in there in some way. Right? I mean, at Convocation, I gave a speech at Convocation, most of the freshmen. I gave a speech at Convocation, and in that speech, I referenced, I think like Captain America Civil War or something, and I think of Rihanna song. The purpose was, I said, I'm always thinking about the students, and if I'm trying to teach students or relate a message, you gotta relate a message that students understand. So I don't think it's possible to even really have a conversation as an educator on some level and not reference pop culture a little. And it doesn't always have to be funny, sometimes it can be quite serious. But I think that's part of education, is drawing from meeting people where they are. And y'all are in the middle of, and the drivers of pop culture. And so if we're trying to teach you about math or history, psychology, I think it becomes necessary, critical, that those professors and those faculty and staff have an understanding of pop culture and they can draw it through. And I think what you'll find is that the good ones do. Right? Not that they're cool, right? I mean, by definition, once you get this old, whenever you say something that sounds young, you look corny, right? I mean, that's just how it goes. And we're used to that. So it's not that people are cool, but still an understanding of who the artists are, kind of what their place is in young people's lives, what the fashion means.
Okay, for student activity and athletics, we're focused on, for this video, focused on the president and how his father recently passed and how that's affected him going forward. Also, we will talk about the soccer club. I don't know if Virginia State knows, but we have a soccer club here at the university. Actually had a game the other night. So focus on that and really just see how soccer and HBCUs kind of mesh together. So that's our focus.
Throughout the semester, the group of student activities have asked around campus to find out what Virginia State had to say about pop culture.
We asked different people such as the Director of Athletics, Peggy Davis, a member of the soccer club, and the president himself, President Bukola Abdullah.
So sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the student activities and athletics presentation.
I think pop culture is a really difficult thing to define, but I think it is partially defined by the repetition of a certain thing, item, or situation. The things that are repeated within modern society tend to influence or be what our young people would call pop culture. It doesn't necessarily have to be new. It can be an old thing that's reintroduced. I like to use Paul McCartney as an example, right? He invaded America with the Beatles in the mid-60s. They kind of revolutionized the music industry at that particular time. And he's been part of the music pop culture ever since, right? He's now in his 70s, still doing music and doing new music. And he has a part of pop culture. He's not all of it, but he has a part of it.
My name is Makola Abdullah, first name M-A-K-O-L-A, last name A-B-D-U-L-L-A-H. And I am the president of Virginia State University.
And we're loving it already.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That means a lot.
I came here today to talk about pop culture and pop culture around VSU. So we're going to start off with first, what is pop culture in your own words?
Pop culture is that which is trending. I think it's the way that typically young people have embraced what's going on around them, and the language and the fashion that is associated with what's going on around them. I think generally pop culture kind of picks up from young folks, and sometimes us old people pick it up too. Sometimes we don't. But that it's tied really to that young experience.
Okay. My next question would definitely be, do you see like pop culture around campus changing? Do you see like what changes have you seen so far?
We as an older generation, I typically see the changes happening slower than y'all do, right? So for instance, I think like I love the word lit. I think that word is just funny, right? I think it's cool, but it's for me. That was me seeing another word that kind of moves and explains the experience. Right? For me, it was live. I think it was. Maybe it was the bomb or something, and now it's lit. And I know that by the time I catch it, right, by the time I start using it, means by definition, there's something else coming. There's something else happening. And so I say all that to say that I don't know if I'm the best person to know how pop culture changes on campus. I know it's different. It's quite a bit different than when I was in school. And it's exciting. I think one of the great things about being at a university is being around young people. That kind of helps keep you young and helps keep you more on the pulse of how things are changing. But I think students would be better to answer that question, how pop culture is changing.
Hi, I'm Peggy Davis, the Director of Athletics here at Virginia State University.
It's asserted that pop culture has a major influence in society. My question to you is, how much of an influence does pop culture make on how you run Virginia State University athletics?
Well, let me start out by saying athletics is a people business, and our student athletes are certainly people as well as our staff. What we try to do is to stay in tune with what's going on in the world, good, bad, indifference. We know that music is constantly changing. We know that certain athletic personalities favor one type of music as compared to another. So what we try to do from an athletic standpoint is we try to service all of our student body athletics as well as our staff. And with the changing times, if there's a song that's really hot at that particular time, and we know that our student athletes really get up and excited and ready to play, then we really try to push that song to them because internally it motivates them and gets them ready to perform.
I'm Taryn Valentine here with the goalie of Virginia State University's soccer club team, Eric Banks. Eric, I'm just going to ask you a few quick questions about pop culture. So the first question is, what does pop culture really mean to you?
Pop culture to me is, everybody's backgrounds, types of music that they listen to, whether from, their fashion, how they dress and stuff like that. That's pretty much what pop culture means to me.
All right, and do you think that pop culture influences the way you and your players play as far as practicing the games?
Most definitely. We got a lot of different nationalities on our team, people from all over the world, and we learn a lot from each other, whether it be like their language, how they interact with other people. We learn a lot.
Hello, my name is Jalila Harris, and I'm a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
How do you think pop culture affects your sorority?
It affects it in many ways. What sororities and fraternities are really famous for, that people see on the outside, are our steps, our strolls, and how we serve the community. So I would say whatever is really trending in pop culture, we incorporate that with our steps. Like the dances and stuff, we incorporate that with our steps and strolls. And whatever is going on in the world, we incorporate that with what type of service we want to do. So I would say that's how it affects my sorority.
How do you feel that your sorority affects pop culture here on the DSU campus?
Well, being that being in a sorority, you kind of have all eyes on you because you're not only representing yourself, you're representing the sorority. So I would say that how we carry ourselves and what we do on the campus affects pop culture on Virginia State. And my letters and what we wear and basically like how we just show ourselves on campus.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Jones. I'm from Houston, Texas.
I'm Zaria Hill. I'm from Stafford, Virginia.
I'm Kennedy Cannon. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're freshmen on the volleyball team.
Can pop culture influence volleyball?
I think pop culture doesn't really influence the game of volleyball itself because the rules have been the same for so long and that part of the game won't change. But I think the popularity of the game changes with pop culture. Like you'll get on Twitter and see volleyball girls trending because of the short shorts, and that helps the popularity of the game.
I'm Cassandra Artis Williams, head Woo cheerleading coach and interim sports information director.
Okay. What is your definition of pop culture?
Ooh, are we talking about modern day pop culture or are we talking about past pop culture?
Modern day.
Modern day pop culture to me is honestly a mesh of old school. A lot of different styles or what people think different styles really are, just really being reinvented into today's time.
What does pop culture mean to the Woo Woo brand?
Honestly, it means everything. For us, we take a lot of, the creative things I was saying previously. A lot of the creative ideas that they have with pop culture, we incorporate that into our routines, really to kind of give a fresh flavor and to stay up to date. Of course, Woo has been around. Officially, the name Woo has been around since 1975. So, of course, as the evolution of pop culture changed, so did we to kind of stay up to date with everything.
Everyone, who was your favorite person to interview or to get most insight from? For us, Carrington was probably the most insightful and the most entertaining because he's done it and he also grew up in it. So he started from the bottom and worked his way up and now he teaches it. So he has insight all around. So we probably enjoyed him. We interviewed him twice because of how much we had to get taken away from him.
For us, I would probably say Mr. Gates. He just got that personality about him. You just want to hear him speak, and he knows a lot about music. He works with jazz, and jazz man. He was king of the class one day, and telling us about how he he has reads and his name and all that stuff, and you know, that was pretty cool. He taught me a lot because I do music as well, so he taught me a lot about this, knowing about the different notes and stuff and everything like that.
Well, as far as educational community, we had the most fun interviewing Dr. Conway, which his name rings bells around campus because if you don't know Dr. Conway, something is wrong with you. So he's always preaching to us. You see him in the hallway. He says hi to you, whether he knows your name or not. And he just basically gives us the history of Virginia State and how he contributes to Virginia State and why he, goes so hard on the students just to see us be successful in the end. Because we work so hard. He sees us every day, and why not push us to do our best,
So for our faculty, of course, like I said earlier, Peggy Davis, the athletic director at Virginia University. Really, we know sports and pop culture go hand in hand, and they're people together. So she gives a lot of insight, even on the music that's being played in the game, to how that reflects pop culture and how that kind of brings people together. And the crowd getting hyped to a certain song, that brings everybody together, so the athletes too. So pre-game, post-game makes a big difference. Or what the band plays in the room makes a big difference on how the effective feel in general. I'm sorry. See, the way you look like the back of like that.
Because I was trying to get, communication.
Hi, my name is Brian Miller. Hi, my name is Ajara Fale.
How you doing? My name is Salim.
I'm Michael Green.
And I'm Big Al Harrison, and we are Music and Fashion.
My name is Fred Wynn, Assistant Director of TV and Film.
My name is Julie Lay Harris, Assistant Editor of TV and Film.
My name is Brianna Williams, Researcher of TV and Film.
I'm Aaliyah Israel, the camera operator for TV and Film.
And I'm David Stubbs, Executive Producer for TV and Film.
My name is Ken Thompson.
Hi, I'm Imani Anderson. Hello, my name is Monet Ingram Harrison.
Hey, Kieran Whitehead.
Hello, I'm Jody Serville. And we are Educational Community at Virginia State University.
Hi, my name is Tyler Taylor.
Hey, my name is Taryn Valentine.
Hi, I'm Nicolas Jones.
Hi, my name is Charles Hamlet, and we are Student Activities and Athletics.
You tell your kids all the time, if you work hard, you'll be president of the United States. And I'm not sure we believed it. You just kind of say, your mom told you. If you do everything you can, who do you want to be? She wrote me the president.